Hello and welcome to another tantalizing video from R4G3 Craft. I am Chef Deme, and today we will be covering item transportation. I've seen quite a bit about item transportation, like questions and people showing their systems and all this different stuff and asking why is this not working, why is that not working. So we're going to cover some of the most common, simple ways to transport items and, see what y'all think. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, please subscribe. I could use some subscribers. Alright, so the most basic way we transport items is across ice blocks. Now this is the different forms of ice blocks. You have your standard ice block, you have the packed ice, and you have the blue ice. Each of these has a slightly different aspect to it. One, regular ice. It will melt in light levels of like 7 or higher on survival mode. You break it in survival mode, whoops, I didn't mean to break the packed ice, you're in my way. If you break it in survival mode, you'll end up with water. Not the best thing to use. This is more for, you want to put a water source block, collecting ice for that. But 9 pieces of regular ice make 1 piece of packed ice. Now, things travel faster across the ice, but they travel even faster, as you see, across the packed ice than the regular ice. Just another there, and oops, and woo. See how fast that travels. Now, 9 pieces of this packed ice creates blue ice. Now, you could also go to an ice spike biome, go underneath, and farm that with Silk Touch from underneath of icebergs. Now, this, on a short system, no big whoop, you don't really need the blue ice for a short system. There. If you're doing something, say, 1,000 blocks long or something like that, now that's when the packed blue ice, or when the packed blue ice, that's when the blue ice comes into play. Blue ice gets faster the further you go down it. So, as you see, it actually seems slower in this short distance than packed ice, because packed ice keeps and maintains a single speed, whereas the further this goes along the blue ice, the faster it will accelerate. So it's actually traveling faster here than it is there. Water goes down for pushing items, very great way to use it across the ice. Something to always keep note of, you're going to need, if you're going to continue along straight lines such as this, you'll want a sign. Now, you could place the sign here and do your next water source block here, so forth and so on. But it is best to place it on this first here, because for some reason items tend to get a little stuck in this area right here when you put it, or should I say here, when it comes right off the water, whereas if you stop the water short, it seems to have more flow in these blocks, and the items will continue on. This section here, this is a prime example. This is a two-way entry system. It's not fully put together yet because I was going to show you the tips and tricks on how to get one of these things working. First off, water taking corners. This is not the most efficient way to bring the water around the corner. Putting a sign there, placing your water here, will allow a faster travel, and your items aren't going to get hung up on this corner as much. The other thing is this chest here. Do you see how this chest is slightly off from the block? When the items come this way, they'll hit this chest and they'll get stuck up on it. Like, oops, wrong button. Like so. And that will align them to this edge right here, so that as they're traveling this way, they'll travel across the hoppers. Now, if you had these locked as like an item sorter, that right there, well, they'll only drop into the specific one that they're able to go into. These right here are just completely open, no redstone to it, so it'll just go directly into the chest. Now, once this once this barrel is full, and this hopper is full, it'll slide down to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It's great for quick deposits from, like, let's say you have a farm that produces so many items that the hoppers can't keep up, that everything can't keep up. This is a really good system for that. Now, the next piece of advice on this is how to take opposite corners. Now, let's say you wanted to come across like this and you were gonna go and do this area here. The best thing to do is to align on one side or the other, like how I had it aligned here. This is not for hoppers, but this is just so you don't get caught up on your signs. So let's say I wanted to place any sign that I'm going to place here, then I would put a chest right here, and that would align things to this edge, so it went through this edge. But, whoops, I don't wish to, well, darn, I don't wish to do that. In this case, I want to show you going around the other corner to align it. So we're going to get us some sea pickles. Now, I was pretty sure this was under this, isn't it? No, it wouldn't be under saplings. That would be just plain crazy. Sea pickle, sea pickle, sea pickle. Where is sea pickle? You know, I don't think I've ever done a sea pickle in creative. There we are, the underwater torch. Now, you would take to align to this edge here. Now, mind you, that's why the signs are over here. We're aligned on this edge as it's coming down. So now we want to align to this edge. If you were to put a chest here, that aligns to this edge, obviously, because that's how it is over there. In this case, we want 2. So you see the hitbox is different? It's like, well, I guess it doesn't really show so much on the hitbox is good on Bedrock Edition as Java. Java, you'd be able to see how the hitbox grows, but you see how the size of the thing grows. Now this is how you align. Waterlog this, and this should align all the items to this wall right here. We're going to then place another sign. Wait, no. Another sign here. There I go, making a mistake. If you want to always place your sign opposite of where the alignment is, because if it smacks up against this wall and aligns up to this wall, it could get hung up on the edge of that sign. And this is what we try to avoid in making item transports, is hung up. And by the way, the reason for these bars right here, I actually put them up just so I could discuss this and completely forgot as I went across, is this prevents the items from falling into the hopper, because it can fall into a full hopper there and not go through, or let's say this is a locked hopper and the wrong item, it can actually get stuck in that little divot that's... Whoops. Yeah, let's do this real quick. Just to stop the water, because I'm trying to show something. But there's a... I can't quite get into it, I guess, right here. Yes, screw it. But yeah, there's... items can get stuck in the little divot inside of the hopper, and that will prevent that from happening. That's why the bars are there. That's also why you don't run, or you shouldn't run a water line directly over the hoppers. That's why it's best to side align and go, because if you're going over, you can get items caught into your system. So over here, whoops. Once again, we're going to want 2 sea pickles and to align this to this edge, because the hopper's on the opposite side. And then this, right here, once again, another sign. This is just so you kind of get the gist of how these types of systems work, you know, that goes into here. Now here, we would have your standard item elevator. Now to get a standard item elevator working properly, we're going to make that our drop chute. On Bedrock, you can just place the water here. On Java Edition, not so simple. Apparently, now I haven't played Java Edition in a long time, honestly, because I like the mobility of Bedrock, but you apparently need water source blocks. Now you could do that like all the way down like this, and that'll work. You can, you know, plant a piece of kelp down here and have it grow and it do flowing water with the thing open like this. But personally, since we are, whoop, that's wrong. I'll fix that in a minute. I'll just do this. We're on Bedrock Edition. So that will allow us the luxury of being able to just place a water source block right here, have it flowing like so. Sign right here, this will block the water from flowing in that way. I got some glass right here, pick block. We need soul sand. We need some soul sand there. Put this glass here so you'll be able to see it. Breaking this should cause a bubble elevator to form. There we go. Bubble elevator has formed. It is popping up. Water is flowing this way. Now, anything that does not make its way into these hoppers, let's say they were full. Now watch. Boom, straight up like that. And into there. See? Works perfectly. And into the hopper. Huh. Sea pickles don't seem to work on this version. I would have sworn that would work. Okay, well, if you're in Java Edition, that will work. Ah, that's a shame. Maybe it needs 4. See, that's what, like I said, I've never tried Sea Pickles in Creative. I had watched a video on it, but most of you are going to be on Java Edition anyways. This will work. I actually guess I need to download myself a copy of Java Edition. That's annoying. But honestly, you can do it from another direction. But then that's okay, because then this will show that since this didn't work, goes across, goes over, goes up, and it should all be ending up in, yeah, see, in here. So I guess just can only come really from the one direction. This right here, here's another thing I was going to show on, was moving items without water is plausible. Let's just grab us a whole stack of coarse dirt. This right here is one of your more important things when it comes, is the dispenser that fires every time an item is in it, or a dropper as well. Droppers can drop into other droppers and up, down, any direction, whatever way it's facing, the dropper could, like, if it's facing a chest will do, but dispensers will dispense certain, oh, well. Words, they're escaping me at the moment. I was all set up, thought that sea pickle thing worked because it works on Java. Didn't even think about that. Gonna have to maybe file a report with Mojang being like, hey, maybe you should make this feature work. This is not, timing is one thing with this thing. It's not 100% reliable, I guess, for me. Ah, there we go, it snagged up something, so that's good. But figure out a way to add an extra fire to this. But see, this is another way to move things across. Let's say you're in the nether and you need to move items. They don't push them very far, but this is just to show that you could continue. This video is almost over, but then this, hoppers. This is another way to transport items. You can have hoppers going in, depending on what direction their little nib is facing, depends on where they go in. They can be turned on and off with redstone. You put redstone signal into it, and then the hopper it won't accept items, it won't take any items in, it won't transport items. There's a perfect example of how the item though can get caught in the hopper. You see that? How it's just below the surface? That's why the iron bars. Well, at least that worked. But then, you know, you turn off the hopper and everything that was on top of it. So that can be used to make locks, sorters. There's all sorts of aspects to use it. You can find tons of tutorials on how to use these things, but these are just the basic ways moving items And like I said, this is you'd have to work on your timing and all that stuff to get that. I was hoping that this would work in Bedrock as well, but it only apparently works in Java. This is very informative. Thank you for watching, subscribe. Sorry for my failure with the sea pickles. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm going to add it to the bloopers reel, although maybe I will. Have a good one, guys.